What's up guys, Saulius, I'm back again. So today we're going to be reacting videos about was and the worst possible choice when you can make in and The Walking Dead Part 3. Yep, this will be Part 3 was made by Avid Nuts. Yep, of course this will be longest video. This will be 20 minutes. God damn it. So yeah, this will be longest videos by far. So let's watch the video.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Walking Dead Choices, where I analyze the most important decisions you can make in Telltale's The Walking Dead game series. Let's continue with more choices, but before that, I just want you all to know that links to other parts are in description. Let's start with who should kill the zombie boy in the attic. If you don't remember, this choice happens in episode 4, when Lee and Kenny find a young boy who starved to death in the attic of a house they were scavenging. The boy has turned into a walker, and someone has to put him out of his misery. You have three options. Lee kills the zombie boy, Kenny kills the zombie boy, or neither of them do it. So which one is the worst possible choice you can make? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to let Kenny kill the zombie boy. Why? Because it will make Kenny more depressed, angry, and suicidal. Let me explain. Kenny is already going through a lot of trauma and grief in this episode. He lost his wife and son in the previous episode, and he blames himself for their deaths. He also feels guilty for leaving Ben behind at the school, even if you agreed with him. He is losing hope and faith in humanity, and he is becoming more aggressive and reckless. If you let Kenny kill the zombie boy, you are basically making him relive his worst nightmare. The zombie boy reminds him of his son, Duck, who he had to shoot in the head after he was bitten. Kenny will break down and cry after killing the zombie boy, and he will say that he doesn't want to live anymore. He will also become more hostile and distant towards you and the rest of the group. This choice will have negative consequences for Kenny's mental health and your relationship with him. Kenny will be more likely to abandon you in the next episode, when you have to choose between saving him or Krista from the walkers. He will also be more likely to sacrifice himself in the finale, when you have to escape from the herd of walkers in the street. On the other hand, if you choose to kill the zombie boy yourself, you will spare Kenny from more pain and suffering. You will also show him that you care about him, and that you are willing to do the hard things for him. Kenny will appreciate your gesture and he will thank you for it. He will also be more loyal and supportive of you and the group. This choice will have positive consequences for Kenny's mental health and your relationship with him. Kenny will be more likely to stick with you in the next episode, when you have to choose between saving him or Krista from the walkers. He will also be more likely to survive the finale, when you have to escape from the herd of walkers in the street. The third option, to do nothing and leave the zombie boy alone, is not really a choice at all. It's a cop-out. It's a way of avoiding the responsibility and the consequences of your actions. Next, whether to take Clementine to Crawford or leave her at the house. Which one is the worst possible choice you can make? First, let's recap what Crawford is and why we need to go there. Crawford is a community of survivors that has a strict policy of no children, no elderly, and no sick or wounded people. They believe that these people are a burden and a threat to their survival. They have a large stockpile of supplies, such as food, medicine, and weapons, that they guard with an iron fist. Our group needs to go there to find a battery for the boat, some medicine for Omid's leg, and possibly a way to deal with Lee's bite. Now the dilemma is whether to bring Clementine with us or leave her behind. Clementine is a smart and brave girl, but she is also a child, and Crawford is a dangerous place. If we bring her, we risk exposing her to violence and horror, and possibly getting her killed or captured. If we leave her, we risk losing her trust and bond, and possibly leaving her defenseless and alone. So which one is the worst choice? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to leave Clementine at the house. First of all, leaving Clementine at the house is a betrayal of our promise to protect her and keep her safe. Clementine is like a daughter to Lee, and he has sworn to do whatever it takes to take care of her. Leaving her alone in a zombie-infested world is the opposite of that. It shows that we don't care about her feelings, her wishes, or her well-being. It breaks her heart and ours. Leaving Clementine at the house is a stupid and risky move. Clementine is not a helpless damsel in distress. She is a capable and resourceful survivor. She can help us in many ways, such as distracting walkers, finding items, and opening doors. She can also use a gun, a walkie-talkie, and a meat cleaver. She is more useful than some of the adults in our group. Leaving her behind means wasting her potential and putting ourselves in a disadvantage. Also, leaving Clementine at the house is a recipe for disaster. Clementine is not safe at the house. The house is not secure. It has broken windows, unlocked doors, and no alarm system. Anyone or anything can get in, and that's exactly what happens. While we are away, a stranger breaks into the house and kidnaps Clementine. He uses her walkie-talkie to contact us and lure us into a trap. He is the same person who has been talking to Clementine throughout the game, and he is not friendly. He is a psychopath who wants to take Clementine away from us and make her his own. He is the final boss of the game, and he is the reason why we lose Clementine in the end. So as you can see, leaving Clementine at the house is the worst possible choice you can make in The Walking Dead. Season 1. It is a cowardly, selfish, and foolish decision that has terrible consequences. It hurts Clementine, it hurts Lee, and it hurts the whole group. Next choice, whether to save Ben or let him fall in Episode 4. To recap, Ben is a teenager who joins Lee's group in Episode 2. He is a nice kid, but he is also very clumsy and naive. He makes a lot of mistakes that cost the lives of other people, such as Carly, Duck, and Katja. He also reveals that he was the one who made a deal with the bandits, which caused a lot of trouble for the group. He is hated by Kenny, who blames him for everything that happened to his family. In Episode 4, the group arrives at Crawford, a community that has a strict policy of killing anyone who is weak, sick, or young. They are looking for supplies, but they end up triggering an alarm that attracts a horde of walkers. As they try to escape, Ben and Lee end up on a bell tower, where Ben confesses that he feels guilty and useless, and that he wants to die. He says that he is sorry for everything he did, and that he understands if Lee wants to drop him. Lee then has to make a choice: save Ben or let him fall. So, which one is the worst choice? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to save Ben. Why? If you save Ben, you are putting yourself and the rest of the group in danger. Ben is a liability, not an asset. He will only cause more problems and more deaths. He is not worth risking your life for. He is not worth risking Clementine's life for. He is not worth risking Kenny's life for. He is not worth risking anyone's life for. But if you save him, you are throwing all that away. You are keeping him alive for no reason. So yeah, that's why I think saving Ben is the worst choice you can make in The Walking Dead Season 1. It's a choice that has no benefits, only drawbacks. Now next one. Whether to reveal Lee's bite or keep it hidden. As you may recall, at the end of Episode 4, Lee gets bitten by a walker while searching for Clementine, who has been kidnapped by a mysterious stranger. Lee then has two options. He can either show the bite to the group and ask for their help, or he can hide the bite and pretend nothing happened. But which option is the worst possible choice you can make? Let's find out. First, let's see what happens if you reveal the bite. If you do that, the group will react with shock and sadness, but they will also respect your honesty and courage. They will agree to help you find Clementine, no matter what. Kenny, who has been your best friend or worst enemy throughout the season, will definitely join you, as long as you have treated him well and supported him in the past. Krista and Omid, the newcomers who have been wary of you, will also offer to come with you as a sign of gratitude and trust. Ben, the kid who has caused so much trouble and guilt, will also volunteer to help, if he's still alive. The only one who might refuse to join you is Molly, the badass survivor who has her own agenda. She will say that she doesn't want to risk her life for a dead man, and she will leave the group. So, revealing the bite seems like a good choice, right? You get the support of your friends, you don't have to lie to them, and you can focus on finding Clementine. Well, not so fast. There are some drawbacks to this option too. For one thing, you will have to deal with the emotional burden of knowing that you are dying, and that you might turn into a walker at any moment. You will also have to face the hard reality of telling Clementine that you are bitten, and that you might not be with her for much longer. This will break her heart, and yours too. And finally, you will have to make the ultimate choice at the end of the season, whether to ask Clementine to kill you, or to leave you to turn. This will be the most difficult and heartbreaking decision you will ever make, and it will haunt you and Clementine forever. Now, let's see what happens if you hide the bite. If you do that, the group will not know that you are infected, and they will treat you as normal. You will have to act like nothing is wrong and hope that they don't notice your wound. You will also have to decide whether to ask the group for help, or to go alone to find Clementine. If you ask for help, You will have to convince them that you need their assistance and that you have a plan. However, not everyone will agree to join you. Kenny, who has been your best friend or worst enemy throughout the season, will only join you if you have been loyal to him and his family, and if you have done some specific actions, such as killing Larry and dropping Ben. Krista and Omid, the newcomers who have been wary of you, will also only join you if you have been nice to them, and if you have saved Omid from the walkers. Ben, the kid who has caused so much trouble and guilt, will also only join you if he's still alive, and if you have saved him from the bell tower. Molly, the badass survivor who has her own agenda, will not join you at all, regardless of what you do. She will say that she doesn't trust you, and that she has her own things to take care of. So hiding the bite seems like a bad choice, right? You have to lie to your friends, you have to risk going alone, and you have to hope that they don't find out. Well, not so fast. There are some benefits to this option too. For one thing, you will not have to deal with the emotional burden of knowing that you are dying, and that you might turn into a walker at any moment. You can pretend that everything is fine, and that you have a chance to survive. You will also not have to face the hard reality of telling Clementine that you are bitten, and that you might not be with her for much longer. You can keep her hopeful, and protect her from the truth. And finally, you will not have to make the ultimate choice at the end of the season, whether to ask Clementine to kill you, or to leave you to turn. You can let her decide for herself, and spare her from the guilt and trauma. So, which option is the worst possible choice you can make? Reveal the bite, or hide the bite? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to hide the bite. Why? Because hiding the bite is selfish, cowardly, and dangerous. By hiding the bite, you are putting your own interests above the group's, and you are risking their lives and yours. You are also lying to Clementine, the person you care about the most, and you are depriving her of the chance to say goodbye to you. And you are avoiding the responsibility of making the final choice and leaving it to Clementine, who is just a child. Hiding the bite is the worst choice you can make, that's my opinion. But what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with me? Which choice did you make in the game, and why? Let me know in the comments below. Also now, whether to ask for help or not at the end of episode 4. This choice has a huge impact on the fate of Lee and Clementine, and I'm going to tell you why I think one option is clearly worse than the other. So, let's get into it. Now, you might think that asking for help is the logical thing to do, since Lee is dying and Clementine needs someone to take care of her. But you would be wrong. Very wrong. And here's why. First of all, asking for help is a sign of weakness. It shows that Lee has given up on his role as Clementine's protector, and that he is willing to trust a complete stranger who has been spying on them and manipulating them. It also shows that Lee has no faith in his friends, who have been with him through thick and thin, and who are ready to risk their lives to save Clementine. Asking for help is basically saying, I don't care about you guys, I just want to get rid of this problem. Second, asking for help is a trap. The stranger is not a good person. He is a twisted and vengeful man who blames Lee and his group for the death of his family. He has been collecting evidence of Lee's crimes and mistakes, and he plans to use them against him. He also wants to take Clementine away from Lee and make her his new daughter. He is not going to help Lee. He is going to kill him. And he is not going to take care of Clementine. He is going to brainwash her. Next, whether to cut off Lee's arm or not in episode 5 of season 1. As you may recall, Lee gets bitten by a walker in episode 4, and he has to decide whether to amputate his arm or keep it in hopes of finding a cure. This choice affects the rest of the episode and the final outcome of Lee's fate. But which option is the worst one? Which one leads to more pain and suffering for Lee and Clementine? Well, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The worst possible choice you can make in The Walking Dead Season 1 is to cut off Lee's arm. Yes, you heard me right. Cutting off Lee's arm is a terrible idea, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, cutting off Lee's arm does not save him. It does not stop the infection from spreading. It does not give him more time. It does not make him stronger. It does not make him a hero. It only makes him weaker, slower, and more vulnerable. Lee is doomed either way, so why make him suffer more than he has to? Second of all, cutting off Lee's arm does not help Clementine. It does not make her feel better. It does not make her trust Lee more. It does not make her respect Lee more.
God damn it.
Trust Lee more. It does not make her respect Lee more. It only makes her feel worse, scared, and guilty. Clementine is traumatized by seeing Lee cut off his arm, and she blames herself for it. She thinks that she is the reason why Lee is dying.
We know, so we have the end video, so stay tuned for that with part two. We're going to end the video, so bye.